Good evening, all of you. So today we'll try to complete out this SIP call flow related studies. Uh, so we have completed up to 3.5 in our previous session with the basic call flow examples, and now we're continuing with further. Um, so this 3.6 talks about a redirect server. So what is the concept of a redirect server? If you send any invite to a redirect server, not a proxy component, it is a redirect component. What does this redirect server would typically do? It will immediately uh, it will reply back with the 302 related information. Tell the allies that, hey, I know where to forward this invite message, but because basically I'm a guy with not so much patience, I will not forward it myself. I will advise you to forward it on your own. So it will be replying back with 302 here. And because 302 is a final response, Allah is supposed to send the ACK, and then the invite message would be forwarded to a proxy that is suggested by redirect server in this 302 message. So point is, instead of proxy forwarding the invite message on his own and participate in the participate in the SIP call flow, it is washing his hands by simply sending a reply and telling allies what to do, to whom to approach for making this SIP call establishment. So with that, the thing is finished. So we have to majorly study. Of course, we can study the first four steps. After that, the activity is properly known to us anyway. So, first four steps. F1, LIC is sending it to redirect server invite uh, to bob.byloxy.example.com, and there is one via field from and to with one tag. Call ID, we have C sequence invite, content length is 0. Actually, content length we have not attached here at this stage. So the redirect server, as per its role, it is coming back and telling that, hey, this guy is not available with me. I will not be able to help you out. So 302 move to temporarily to a different location, and that guy is going to tell you that, hey, you please contact this fellow. This Bob guy, to whom you are trying to make a call to biloxy.example.com, that is your to address. He is right now available at bob at the rate of chicago.example.com proxy. So he's moved to a different domain. He is like roaming kind of stuff. So went into a different SIP domain. He is on roaming scenario. So when that is suggested, with no content present inside it, with a tag created, of course. So there is a dialogue got created between user agent client and the redirect proxy. Um, but the duty of the allies system is simply by sending an acknowledgement ACK by including that dialog parameters. It will send the acknowledgement to the 302 message sent by the redirect server, and then it starts forwarding the invite message to other proxy, the same Bob guy, but right now we are having a different URI in the request URI part, which is chicago.example.com. Actually, to whom the call has that call was originally initiated is for the Bob guy who is present in biloxy.example.com. The same address that is present in the to field is copy pasted into the request URI in the F1 step. If you look into it, here we have bob at biloxy.example.com. In the request URI also, we have bob at biloxy.example.com. But once we have sent this invite method to a redirect server, once he suggested you to go to reach the bob guy in chicago.example.com SIP network, now we have acknowledged, and we are redirecting this invite message, even though the to field is still containing biloxy.example.com, but the SIP URI, the request URI part is linked to chicago.example.com, and we are now forwarding this message to proxy 3 because that proxy 3 is responsible for this chicago.example.com network. So then onwards, the call flow will happen as it is, and everything will be same. So you will be getting acknowledgements, etc.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, in this case, should a user agent have connectivity with a proxy 3 server?
It is
Because
not needed
redirect
to have.
is connecting.
Wait. It never need to have any user. Never need to have which user you are talking about, Alice or Bob?
Allies, who is sending request,
Alice,
invite message, who is sending
Alice
invite.
will either know the IP address of that proxy 3, or it would, because contact details are quoted with a username and a domain name. By sending the domain name information to DNS server, you can find out which proxy is serving that particular domain. The information we have retrieved from the redirect server is the Bob guy to whom you are trying to reach at chicago.example.com is not available there. He is moved to a different location. That is what is suggested to you in the uh, redirect message. Hey, you are trying to reach biloxy.example.com user. He is not available in this domain. He is available in chicago.example.com. This chicago.example.com typically will be FQDN, fully qualified domain name, which can be converted into IP address by contacting DNS server. So if you ask DNS server that, can you please let me know what is the proxy server serving this particular domain? DNS server replies back to the allies, tell him what is the IP address of chicago.example.com. So directly the call is getting initiated towards that proxy, because the proxy that we have contacted, that guy is not willing to help you out, and he is not willing to forward it on his own. He is redirected, and he provided the information to you that this user is present under this domain. And please remember, if you have FQDN at any point in time, fully qualified domain name in any case, you can find out the IP address. For example, you are connecting to facebook.com. Do your computer know facebook.com's IP address? Your computer will find it out with the help of DNS server. What is the IP address where which your Facebook server is located? We'll find out that with the DNS. Same concept here. So if that information is already known to Alice as part of the previous interactions it had with chicago.example.com server, it doesn't need to consult DNS. It can directly start shooting the message immediately after knowing this information. If it doesn't know where chicago.example.com is located and which proxy server is serving that particular domain or the network, SIP network, you have to contact DNS server to find out that IP address. And then you start sending that message to that proxy. Are you understanding this? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The next procedure we are going to look into is SIP session with re-invite. So what is the meaning of re-invite, and where do we use this re-invite? We say, so there is an invite call established, ringing okay with only one proxy involved. So um, they can take multiple proxies also, but they have taken one proxy here. The idea is that to reduce the number of messages in the call flow. So once the session got established, RTP traffic is established as well. Suddenly at this stage, Bob's IP address got modified because he is moving from one Wi-Fi network to another Wi-Fi network, and his IP address got changed, even though the SIP domain is overall the same. That means he may be present in the company network itself, but company is containing lot of Wi-Fi networks, and every Wi-Fi network, the sub-network IP address is different. And when you change from one Wi-Fi network to another Wi-Fi network, your IP address gets changed. So same way, Bob has got its IP address changed. So to report that information to Alice that my IP address has got changed, now Bob is sending the invite method. Bob is sending the invite method doesn't mean that he is making a new call. It may be related to this invite method itself, linked to this invite method, reporting that there are some parameters which I have reported earlier are getting changed. So I'm proposing those changes by sending this invite method to you. Bob is trying to tell that to Alice, and there is a acceptance, and every permanent every permanent response must have a acknowledgement, and then based on whatever the new IP address that has been suggested by Bob, RTP traffic will be shifted to that new IP address. So 200 OK and acknowledgement, new RTP stream, and there is buy under 200 OK. So ultimately, the steps that we have to study here, the steps that we are involved in studying, or the steps that we have to study, are related to this re-invite method that is happening after the session has got established. So, but first we will be studying the session parameters at F1 step. Then we will be shifting to F9 step to see what are the changes that are going to be there. Of course, we have to study F1. We have to study F6 step also, because in F6, F7 we will know what is the Bob's present IP addresses. After that, we'll have to go and see the F9 to understand the changes that it is proposing. So we come down to F1, invite, allies to proxy 2, and it is proposing that my IP address is 101, port number is 49,172. And let us look into the tags. There is a 6S1 tag on the from field, there is no 2 tag, and there is a call ID with the 7P8 it is ending with. And at atlanta.example.com, these are the only 2 dialog parameters are present. The third one is not there yet. The tag parameter in the 2 field is not present. Now, uh, this is contact is allies at client.atlanta.example.com. This is the IP address of allies, and the call is being made to biloxy.example.com, a user called as Bobby in that network, Bob in that network. So done, and it's been accepted, so we can skip a lot of steps. So in the F6, F7, if you look into it, especially in the F6 message, this is the IP address proposed by Bob. This is 201 is my IP address, um, and 3456 is my audio port for the user traffic. It has been proposed by Bob guy. So what is happening after this? And the call has been accepted, acknowledged, and the RTP streams are established. So there is call ongoing between the Alice and Bob. Data is ongoing. At this stage, Bob's IP address got changed. He decided to send an invite. But this is method is a invite method itself. Why are we calling it as a re-invite? If if you are sending the invite method with that same dialog parameters that we have created earlier with the 6S1 tag and these 341159, that is the tag created by the Bob guy. If you see this 344159, this tag and 6S1 is the tag from the allies. Bob tag is 159 and 7P8. These three are the dialog parameters. By using the same dialog parameters, Bob is generating an invite with all the three parameters. When the invite is containing only two parameters, that will be considered as a new SIP session or a new SIP dialog. We are initiating one more session. But if all the three dialog parameters that are present are the same as the previous dialog parameters that these components have exchanged, we have to understand that Bobby is proposing some changes to already ongoing session with these two tag fields and this call ID. That is what we have to understand. And at that stage, invite will be considered as a re-invite. So there is no separate message called as a re-invite. Invite itself is a re-invite message. Invite itself is a re-invite. And it is going to tell that, hey, my right now my IP address is 192.0.2.100. is my IP address for receiving the user traffic, and my port number also got changed. Earlier, some 3486 or something like that was there. Now it is 42,172. That is the Bob's port number and IP address for the user traffic. So once we send this re-invite proposed by the Bob, and it is been accepted with a 200 OK, and uh, and the Alice is reporting that my IP address is the same, which is 101 only, and my port number is 1000. IP address remained same, but he has changed the port number to 1000. Uh, which guy? Alice guy here in the time of acknowledgement, and that is acknowledged. And there is a new RTP traffic gets established after this between Alice and Bob on new port numbers and a new IP address of Bob. Alice's IP address is same, but port number changed. Bob's IP address got changed, port number got changed. So on those IP addresses and port number, a new RTP stream gets established, and then the call will continue till they say bye and terminate the call. So this is to change the existing parameters. What is the primary role of the SIP? By now you are understanding the primary role of SIP. um, as I told you, SIP's duty is to find out IP address of the um, user agent. User agent client IP address must be sent to user agent server. User agent server's IP addresses must be known to client. So SIP, with its infrastructure called as proxies and registration servers, helping the user agents to find out each other's IP addresses by playing mediator roles. So that is what the SIP components are doing. Your SIP proxy or the SIP registers, etc. They are performing that duty, and they are exchanging this IP address details from one to the other ultimately. But at the after the session gets established, if the IP parameters are getting changed, or if any multimedia parameters gets changed related to the SIP operation, so you will be able to modify that with the help of this re-invite part. You will be able to do that with the re-invite. Okay. Unsuccessful and no answer. The next procedure we are going to study. So we have sent an invite. There are provisional responses. Bob's phone is 180 ringing, but you have waited for enough time, and after waiting for enough time, Alice concluded that I don't think Bob Guy will pick it up. He is not there available at the phone, so I'll put down the phone. When the Alice put down the phone, it sends a cancel message to Proxy. Proxy will immediately acknowledge for that with a 200 message for this cancel procedure, and the same cancel will be sent to proxy 2 and 200 OK, and the same cancel would be sent to Bob. Bob will be sending 200 OK. uh, so Bob's phone stops ringing now after receiving this cancel, and he acknowledged that as well. After it stops ringing, your Bob guy will be reporting with a code called as 487 that, hey, you only have stopped it. There is no problem on my side. It will be reporting a 487 message, which will be acknowledged because 487 will be considered as a final response. Final responses must be acknowledged. So it will be acknowledged by this proxy, and the same 487 forwarded to the other proxy acknowledged. Finally, that 487 goes to the allies that the cancellation happened on your side, cancellation not happened on my side. You only have cancelled the call. So this 487 is to report that why the call is terminated. So in case of SIP, every component which is abruptly finishing anything, it will actually climb to the other side that there is nothing of my fault. It is this 487 is because of you. Okay, it is not because of any problem on my side. Phone is ringing. Bob may pick up. If you would have waited for another 2 or 3 minutes, Bob guy would have picked up the call. But you did not wait. You cancelled it. So I'm reporting you that this is your issue, and because of that only we have cancelled it. So if you proceed further into it, so F1 and trying invite trying, ringing, and then after a lot of time there is a cancel. So once the cancel is sent, only from tag will be present. To tag is not there, and the call ID is present. The cancellation, it is got acknowledged by the proxy, and after that it is acknowledged. Proxy forwards it to proxy one forwards it to proxy two. Any questions? Anyone? Someone was enabled the mic. Who is this caller 6? So proxy one is sending the cancel to proxy two with the single tag parameter and the call ID. It has been accepted, acknowledged with 200 OK for this cancel procedure. And proxy to send it to Bob. Bob will send 200 OK. After that, Bob starts the actual steps. Bob starts sending a 487 message. Hey, you yourself have terminated the request. Nothing else is of my fault. 487. Uh, with this tag ID, whatever the request you have originated, and the tag that I am creating for this is this, and this is the call ID. So I'm creating the dialog parameters, but I'm reporting you that the request is terminated by you, and it has been acknowledged. After that, the same message will go from proxy 2 to proxy 1, and then proxy 1 will acknowledge. Then the same message will go from proxy 1 to alias 487, request terminated. So, and that is acknowledged. So all these things are finished ultimately. So with that, the call terminated. Um, that's that. And the next procedure is unsuccessful busy. So you have sent invite and there are some provisional responses. But Bob's phone has sent a message to proxy 2 that it is a 486 message. So what is this 486 message? 486 represents the Bob's phone is busy, like he is on another call or is not right now uh, busy. He set his device to busy, so he's not willing to take the calls, or he is maybe another call. So once that 486 is sent ACK, 486 ACK, 486 acknowledgement, because 486 is a final response which must be acknowledged. Okay, so you just have to look into F6 step onwards. So we go to F6, F5, F6. It says that busy here. Bob is sending it to proxy 2 and reporting that I'm busy. So created a tag call ID and which has been acknowledged with the dialog parameters, and then it will be forwarded towards the previous proxy, and that will be acknowledged, and so on and so forth. Unsuccessful, no response from the user agent. We have sent invite successfully reached Bob, but it is not sending any provisional response, not sending any final response, nothing, no response at all from the user agent. So after sending the invite method and waiting for some time, proxy 2 concludes that I'm resending this invite method multiple times to Bob guy. He is not responding. So I myself have to go and report this to allies with a message called as a 480, reporting the situation to allies that it is unsuccessful due to no response from the other user agent. 480 represents that code. You will be reporting it to this guy. So we have sent invite multiple times. So come down. So we directly go to F12 step. No response. 480 no response with the dialog parameters. that are proposed by the client, and the additional two dialog parameter sent by the proxy 2 to proxy 1, and proxy 1 will forward the same thing to um, allies. Unsuccessful, temporarily unavailable. So there is this ringing, 180 ringing, but after 180 ringing, after some time, Bob is actually sending a 480 message to proxy 2. This 480 represents that it is temporarily unavailable. This 480 originated by the client user agent guy reporting that it is unavailable at this stage, and it is acknowledged 480, acknowledged 480, acknowledged. The phone is ringing, it is not unresponsive. Proxy is 2 is not generating 480, the Bob guy is generating the 480. That means the Bob guy is configured in his own phone that if my phone rings like more than 3 minutes, and if I don't pick up the call for this much amount of time, automatically my phone should be sending a 480 message to the other side. It should be reporting that this user is temporarily unavailable at this location. So that's what should be sent to Ally. That is how the Bob's phone is configured. The Bob's SIP phone is configured. So you can configure the Bob SIP phone with various properties. This is one of the property. After ringing for some time, if it is not picked, it automatically sends this 480. So, however, 480 is unavailable is sent to allies. So you will be sending that um, ringing 480 temporarily unavailable. You are sending these details with the dialog parameters, and it is acknowledged, and it is good. That's it. That is the end of this document 3665, and that is not the end of it for us. We are going to study another document as well. Yes.
Sir, could you please go to the 3.8 call flow?
3.8.
8.
Okay.
Sir, in the last one, if 19 or 20, could you please go to that call flow?
3.9, you mean?
No, 3.8, sir, if 12, if 19 or if 20.
You want
That,
to go to that step?
yes.
Okay.
So there is one authorization parameter was passing that time.
Actually,
The
for
last
actually for termination also, the authorizations can happen as part of the acknowledgement. So that could be there. So I understood that step that you are talking about. So you see this first step in the invite method, you are sending a proxy authorization. So it could be configured. Your device could be configured in such a way that if even if it is sending an acknowledgement as part of that, it can send the proxy authorization as well. So similarly, here we have proxy authorization, and if F20 step that we go um, when it is sending an proxy 1 to allies request a terminated message. When this guy is sending a ACK to proxy 1, that time it is sending the proxy authorization details. That the acknowledgement is actually sent by allies. Not needed, but if it is configured such way in your device, this happens. Otherwise, it won't happen typically. Okay.
Okay, and sir, this max forward is not mandatory for all the flows because after this call flow, this
It is
3.9 or
mandatory.
3.10 something.
It is mandatory. Actually, which parameters are mandatory are already listed in most of the messages. Some SIP headers are actually like mandatory. So there is no way we can escape from that. So if you look into this actual document that we have, SIP RFC 3261 document, if you come down into the SIP messages and understanding the thing like user agent behavior, registrations and dialogues, initiating a session, creating the initial invite. If you go to page number 58, initiating the session. Um, now, sorry, my mistake. 29 will go first. Okay, in the generating the request, when a valid SIP request is formulated with a USC, must at a minimum contain the following header fields. To header field is a must, from header field is a must, C sequence is a must, call ID is a must, maximum forwards is a must, and VIA is a must. So these six header fields are mandatory. All these header fields are mandatory in all SIP requests. So if you generate any SIP request, it must be there. So if it is present in the request, in the response also, most probably these things will be present in the response as well. But in request messages, these are the things that must be present because it is clearly mentioned it here. Okay, so other
Okay.
SIP headers is your choice. So we have to study this document to understand in which SIP protocol messages, which header fields are mandatory, which header fields are not mandatory. To find that out, we have to actually study this doc.
Okay. No, I asked because some of the call flows they have not mentioned the max forwards. So I asked.
Yeah, that's why
And
this document is important because everything is going to be as per the specification itself always. We should not be like dependent on any of the messages that are originated by the third party apps or something like that without this because the standards must be followed. Because, for example, let us take that your SIP phone is manufactured by one company. Let us like GL Communications has manufactured your phone, and Cisco is manufacturing the proxy. Cisco is designed in such a way that when it receives a invite message from any user agent client, Cisco proxy thinks that I must see at least six header fields inside it. If these six header fields are not there, Cisco proxy will think that the message is wrong and it will be reporting back to the client and reporting error to the client. I cannot process your SIP message because mandatory header field is missing. Because here two devices are developed by two companies. Cisco people who have developed the proxy, they have followed the real rules strictly that are mentioned in the SIP specification. And there is another company called a GL which is manufacturing the user agent client or your SIP phone. That SIP phone is not following these rules and not using these max forwards in the header field. That doesn't work out that way. Obviously, that will fail because different. Why the protocols are defined in the world? Protocols are required to make sure that irrespective of the companies which are developing different products, communication must happen between them in a proper way. If different companies follow different rules, not following the rules that are set in the document, products won't work. Okay, so when
okay, sir.
developing the protocols, it is mandatory that any company which is developing any protocol message, generating any protocol message, must have the protocol rule. That is why we have to do the protocol testing. That is the fundamental concept of protocol testing itself. For example, the idea is if you do the mobile phone protocol testing, mobile phone protocol stack protocol testing. Why do we do mobile phone protocol testing? Because your mobile phone must be able to generate all the protocol messages correctly. If it is not, if, for example, if your mobile phone is not generating a RRC connection request correctly, mobile phone is manufactured by Samsung, eNodeB is manufactured by Ericsson. Now, Ericsson eNodeB, when they have developed it, they put the logic in the Ericsson eNodeB that the RRC parameters that you expect in this RRC message are these. But when the Samsung mobile phone is not sending those parameters expected by Ericsson Inodb will reject that RRC connection request, saying that you did not send me a proper RRC connection request message. I'm rejecting your RRC connection request. So here, who is at fault? The Samsung Mobile is at fault. So both Samsung Mobile as well as Ericsson Inodb must be developed by following these protocol standards. The company which is integrating these products, for example, you are using Samsung mobile phone, the company which is integrating the LTE network, like let us take Airtel. Airtel might have bought Inodb from Ericsson, MME from Cisco, S Gateway, P Gate from Nokia Siemens Networks, HSS from another company. Still, these components must be able to communicate and talk to each other properly. That is only possible if all these components, protocol softwares are developed according to the specifications defined by 3GPP in case of LTE. If you talk about that in terms of SIP, all the SIP products must be following the rules that are mentioned in the SIP specification, SIP RFC. There is nobody that can um, go without that rules. Not possible.
Got it, sir.
Okay. Um, some more examples we are going to study here. Okay. How many examples we are going to see here? Um, Call hold, consultation hold, etc., etc. We will be looking one by one, starting from 2.1 up to 2.18. So we have 18 sequences present here. First, we will go into the legend of these message flows, and then we go into the actual part. So go to the fourth page. Okay, fine. Starting from the example. Okay. Um, First procedure, call hold for us. You normally can understand at a human level what is the meaning of a call hold. There is nothing great in understanding what is call hold. So we will see. So there is an invite going from Alice to proxy, proxy to Bob. Only one proxy is involved. Maybe both Alice and Bob belongs to the same network, or they are using only one proxy in the middle. And a provisional response 100 trying and ringing. Okay, acknowledgement, call is established, RTP traffic is done. In after that, in F10 step, in step number F10, Bob is sending a invite. I have already explained you that if the invite that is sent with the same dialog parameters that are created as part of the previous procedure, the invite is actually called as a re-invite. It is called as who is sending re-invite? Bob is sending re-invite. So what is he going to report in this re-invite? It is going to tell Alice that, hey man, just hold on. I'm keeping your call on hold. I'm not going to speak anything now from some time. So I'm keeping this call on hold, and it is accepted with the 200 OK because um, typically the final response for the invite must be acknowledged. We acknowledge, and there is no RTP traffic going on for some time till the Bob guy keeps this call on hold. And after some time, it is going to send the invite once again, the Bob guy, and remove that hold that he's put the call on. Once that is removed, once the invite is sent 200 OK acknowledgement, again the RTP RTP session gets established, and you will start exchanging the user traffic, and you will be sending by and 200 OK and terminate your SIP session. So the steps we are more interested is F10 and F16 steps. These are the steps that we are more or less interested in. Okay. So what do? We go down. We first observe the invite and the tag parameters. Most important things are tag parameters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is no two tag, and your call ID is 1234560 atlanta.example.com. That is the call ID. Two tag will be created by the accepting guy. So in the 200 OK message that is arriving from the Bob is sending that tag field is from tag is the same 1234567, and Bob is creating a tag 314159. These are the dialog parameters now. 1234567 314159 1234560 at example.com. This is the session that gets established between this got established between Bob Guy and the allies. So, and one more important thing that you have to see here is when Bob Guy is sending in the O field, uh, the value that we have here for the O field is 527 and 527. So there is the same number repeated two times, and the IP address is FQDN, and the port number it is operating is 3456. And the call has been accepted with those details. Acknowledgement is sent back, uh, and um, you are on the call. RTP sessions established. You are on the call. But after some time, Bob decided to place the call on hold. So at that time, it is sending a re-invite. How do we know that it is re-invite? Is the tag parameters are similar: 314159, 1234567, and 1234560. So if the same dialog parameters are used, we know that it is definitely a re-invite that is being sent by the Bob guy. So at that time, Bob is reporting that a SIP rendering is equal to no. So this SIP rendering is equal to no will have a kind of a communication to your Bob guy that this call is going on hold. And there is also information in the SDP which refers to your call hold. What kind of information will be there in the SDP which refers to call hold? So if you look into the SDP part, the previous values were for in the O field, the previous values were 527, 527 present two times. But this time here we have 527, here we have 528. When this number gets incremented in here in the O field, that represents that your voice traffic is on hold. It represents that. Pranay, I will come to the IMS parts. First, we will study the SIP completely. From tomorrow onwards, we'll study IMS only. That time, I will tell you all your doubts about Geo to Geo, Geo to Airtel, Airtel to Idea, all things we can discuss. Okay. So this O field incrementation in the O field represents your voice traffic is on hold, and it is also telling that right now I can only send anything to you. I am not in a position to receive anything from you. I can only send the thing to you. Bob Guy is reporting this to allies. I can only send. I am not receiving. So it is not a two-directional mechanism right now. It is a one-directional. Only I can send some information to you at a later point in time. So once this invite goes from Bob to proxy 1 and proxy 1 to Allies, Allies receives this, and Allies is
Sir,
going to, yes.
sir, if it is a hold,
Hmm.
hold means there will be no audio, no, like I cannot send
No
anything. So
audio,
how
but
it is sending? Like,
there is a possibility that you will be seeing later. There is a possibility that you can send some traffic. What traffic you can send, especially the guy who is keeping you on hold. It can connect you to a music server and it can send you music playing that your call is very important to us. Please hold on. You listen to that. That is also a
okay,
voice.
okay, got it. Okay.
You will be getting that background voice, right? So to send that, it will
Yeah.
be playing this send only. I am not ready to receive anything from you. You shut up and keep quiet, but I'll be sending to you. What I'll be sending is maybe background, circling voice.
Okay, got it. And sir, suppose if it is a one-to-one call, that is suppose I am putting a call hold
Hmm.
and you are not able to hear anything, that time what will be the parameter?
Then it might
Because I am
even
calling from one-to-one.
it might tell that send only, but if it is not sending anything, that is up to him. It is proposing to Alice that I am in a position to send to you, but I may send, I may not send. So that doesn't mean that it's guys sending music server. Right now, I am not explaining you the logic with the music server part. No, I am not. Okay, we are not studying the music server section here. So this guy is telling that I am having the powers to send information. What kind of information I can send? For example, I can take out this hold. Right now we are on hold. We I can take out this hold. That kind of information I can send. But right now I may not be sending anything to you.
Yeah.
Got it. So
And sir, what does this rendering mean?
typically, that is actually this SIP rendering is for SIP protocol to have an understanding to the SIP signaling level that the call is going on hold, and this SDP information is for your voice application to stop capturing the voice data and stop sending the voice data. This is your to your codec part. So this is for SIP guy. SIP signaling. SIP is basically signaling. Your SDP is user data, which is generated by using your voice codecs. So this 527 and 528 is a hint to your voice codec that you have to stop, because I have told you that I can only send, I cannot receive. So you have to stop sending the voice traffic to me because I am keeping you on hold. How do you know that I am keeping you on hold? With this number, you will have to know that you are on hold. But this information should be known to the SIP entity as well, which is maintaining your SIP sessions. So that is why we are including this signaling. The signaling level, we are including the uh, call hold related information, and user data level also we are including this information in two different ways. One, in SIP level, it is just a parameter. It's one additional parameter we are adding to one field called as contact field. Uh, but in here, it is in the O field with an incremental O field value. We are explaining to the other guy that this is it. So I'm stopping the traffic at this stage, keeping you on hold.
Okay.
And once this comes to the allies, allies responds back to this hold, replies back to hold with a 200 OK, and it is also sending the SDP information as part of it by using the same dialog parameters, and it is reporting that I am in receive only position. I'm accepting to the proposal that you have sent, and I am even incrementing the O number, which represents that there is one time hold happened. Actually, you have initiated it, but I am accepting it. Meaning is I am keeping myself in receive only. I cannot send any traffic. I understood that. If you want to send anything to me, you can send me on this port number. I am in a receive only situation, but there is one hold happened. This number is represent 526 is the original number that Ally started with. At both places we have had 526 earlier, but now here we have 526 and here we have 527, which represents that the call hold is in play, and that is being accepted by the Allies guy right now. And once this 200 OK goes, you will be get the acknowledgement back. And then Bob, he talked to the colleague. You have asked a question to Bob. Bob don't know the answer. He told you that, hey, please wait, man. I will am keeping you on hold. I will go and talk to my manager and get you the information. So he'll put you on hold. He may call by using another session. He might call his manager, Bob guy, and then talk to the manager and get the information that you are seeking. Cut that call, and then he can take you off the hold. So at the time when Bobby is taking you off the hold, that in the contact field, that SIP rendering is equal to no has been removed, which indicates that whatever the call hold that is in place earlier by invoking the SIP rendering parameter is set to no, that is being removed. This is at the signaling level. uh, it is invite method sent with the same dialog parameters, and there is SDP information as well which Bob is sending. Inside that, the original 527 number is the same, but this 528 became 529. So when there is a difference between these two numbers as 2, then we know that the call is still active. But again, if the phone is kept on hold, 529 will become 530, call is on hold. Next time 530 will become 531, then call is again on in a active state. So depending on this O field value is whether same O field values are there, or difference is an even number or a odd number, you will be able to find out whether the call data is on hold or the call data is going on. And when there is no send only, receive only restriction attached here, by default it will be considered as send and receive. So we have send and receive in operation, and the call hold is removed, and that comes from Bob to proxy 1 to Alice. Alice accepts it, and your call will go through properly. And again, the session gets established, and you will continue with that session. Even on the Li side also, earlier whatever number 526 has become 527, now it has become 528, meaning is he also accepted for the reactivation after the call hold by the Bob. So the number difference between these O field values are 2. So which represents that the call hold is been removed successfully on the Li side as well. So that's done and acknowledged, and RTP traffic gets established by call is finished. Okay. So that is on one hold mechanism. So we have one more hold called as consultation hold. Okay. What is this consultation hold? We have sent an invite, trying, ringing, and everything. Alice, proxy, and Bob guy is involved. Call is established. Both way RTP traffic is done. This guy is keeping you on hold. Okay, acknowledgement. There is no RTP traffic. And then he is making a call to somebody with the invite to who? Carol. He is making a call to Carol, trying, ringing, and okay, and acknowledgement. RTP traffic established. You will send bye to Carol. So this is the actual extended situation that we are having right now. So he is not only kept you simply on hold and talking to the colleague who is sitting next to you, is making a call to his manager called as Carol, and trying to establish that session and terminate it and reconnect. Again, after this session gets terminated, you are re-inviting by removing the hold, and your call gets established, and you will finally terminate that call. So there are a lot of steps involved here. From top to bottom, we have many steps. But I hope you understood the general logic here. So you call the Bob guy, you means you consider yourself as allies. You call the Bob guy, ask something. Bob doesn't know that. Told you that I'll keep you on hold and I'll go and I have to consult one guy who is present in 7th floor. I'm in 1st floor, but I can make a call to him. But for that, I have to keep you on hold. So then he makes a call to that 7th floor guy, Bob fellow, and talks to him, and again cut that call and comes back to you. Right now, from Bob's point of view, how many sessions are in play? Bob is actually having 2 sessions. One session he kept on hold. He is having another session with the Carol, which is a fresh session with fresh dialog parameters. We have to observe that whether there are special fresh dialog parameters or not. And after that got terminated, Bob will be sending a reinvite method with the old dialog parameters to Alice and to remove that hold and bring the call back to a active state. So let us observe the protocol information. First, we go to a first call OK message. We go to 200 OK. In this 200 OK, you can see it is 527, 527, and the dialog parameters are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 00 at atlanta.com. These are the dialog parameters that we have. Just remember these dialog parameters. This is the call getting established between Alice and Bob. And once this is done, call established, uh, Bob is placing Alice on hold. F10, SIP rendering is equal to no, and 527 value has become 528. This is the user plane and the send that I am in a send only position right now. You are only going to be in receive only. And once this is accepted uh, by uh, Alice and acknowledged, now Bob is sending a fresh invite method to proxy1. In the fresh invite method, the from address is Bob, to address is Carol, and in the from address there is a new tag 8675309, and there is no to tag because this session is right now getting established between Bob and Carol. So it is a new session and there is a new call ID. So this is the second dialog that is going to be available with Bob. The to field must be created by Carol because we are initiating the call towards Carol. And there is the contact field, etc. You have this STP information. So uh, Carol replies back. Carol is replying back to proxy. It is sending this tag 456654 is the Carol's tag, and with this call ID 98765432110 and this 8675309 these tags, this is the new session that got established between Bob and Carol. So they will speak for some time because phone is ringing. Carol picked up 200 OK and acknowledged. So they are speaking to each other. After completion of that speaking for some time, Bob is sending by to this particular dialog parameters. It is sending the proxy one by method is initiating with these tags. That means you are sending the by to Carol guy because we know that these dialog parameters are towards the Carol. So once it goes from proxy one to Carol, Carol will reply back with 200 OK with these parameters and the call got terminated. So after that, Bob takes the call off hold. Whatever the call that Bob is having with the Alice, it is on hold. You have to take it off right now. So Bob is sending an invite method with the old dialog parameters 314159, 1234567, and 1234560. These are the dialog parameters that are stored at Bob's node to communicate with Alice. It is sending invite, and with these dialog parameters, if you send a invite means it will be considered as a re-invite. SIP rendering parameter has been removed, and 527 has become 529. So the value changed two times. So the call is taken off the hold, and you get an acknowledgement, and call will be re-established, and you will have to terminate it. So the remaining thing is the thing we have studied multiple times. I hope you
Sir,
guys are understanding. Yeah.
sir, this supported header mentioned as replaces. What does that mean?
Where is replaces?
It is there in that somewhere back. Could you please go a little up?
We
Little up. Is there it was. Yeah, supported replaces.
supported in the sense what methods that node supports, what methods it will allow and what additional methods it support. Replaces is the additional method it support other than the these methods. It also supports this method. replaces mechanism. These are LOE's methods. Replaces is actually considered as a procedure. It is not a method. It is a sub procedure as part of a method. What is replaces? We see some examples for that replaces in the coming things. Just hold on for that. What is the meaning of replacement? In the next one, I'm
Okay.
going to teach you that replace part.
Okay. And sir, content length colon then three dots. What does that mean? Content length usually will be having zero, otherwise something, some whatever, like 147 or whatever the characters are containing in the SDB parameters. But
There,
in some places it is mentioned as three dots. Could you please go
meaning
a
is
little
they
up?
are just simply ignoring it and not showing that information in order to make sure that the log document is going to be to make it smaller. They will simply say that it is like repeated or whatever. So the same information they don't want to repeat it multiple times. They might put that way. Next time when it happens, ask me. I will tell you what is the meaning of that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Music on hold. What is the meaning of music on hold? Alice and Bob established a call even without any proxy here. RTP traffic is direct, so somehow Alice know the IP address of the Bob, and the call is established directly between each other, and there is no third party needed here. So directly call is got established. So Bob places Alice on hold. There is an invite sent to Alice to tell him that it is on hold. Um, but once that has been accepted, this Bob guy is going and sending a message to your music server with a refer method, and it is referring that hey, there is actually a session going on between me and Alice. I have kept the Alice on hold, and I'm providing you the dialog parameters of the session that I'm having with Alice. You take those dialog parameters and you induce yourself into my business. That means that I'm going to keep this guy on hold for some time. I want you to play the music for Alice guy so that he will not feel bored while I'm keeping on hold. So I'm referring this Alice guy to you to replace me. Like I wanted to get replaced by you. So you are going to send the data to him instead of me sending the data to him. I don't want to send any data to him, and I don't want to be in a active state also. I want to put you in charge of playing something. So it accepts it with a 202, and it also notifies to Bob that I am actually starting that procedure, which is acknowledged. Then the music server will send a invite method with the same dialog parameters that the Bob guy knew, which Bob guy forwarded to music server. By quoting those dialog parameters in the invite method, which will be considered as a re-invite basically towards Alice, and it is going to tell Alice that hey, I'm sending with these dialog parameters. Don't get confused. Don't uh, don't think that don't worry about who is me or something like that. Hey, I am replacing myself in the place of Bob with I know that you are having a dialogue with Bob guy and he put you on hold. I want to replace myself in place of Bob in this dialogue. So if you accept it, let me know. So this guy is accepting it and sending 200 okay, which is acknowledged, and this music server is sending this RTP music to Bob guy. It is a send only operation. In this case, it is just a downlink. This music server keeps playing music, and um, Alice is sending a bye to um, uh, Bob, telling that because in the session that is established between you and me, music server has taken over as I have accepted that. So this is the IVR I'm talking about, Pranay. This is the IVR I'm talking about. But I don't want to clarify. During hold, we hearing some IVR which indicates some media part is there. Is that MRF coming into picture? This is, yes, the music is that IVR. Again, okay, their IVRs are actually basically considered as additional inputs that you will be sending in. You will be calling it as a re-invites. We won't go into the IVR part yet, where the servers might be taking some additional inputs also, like please press one for that, one for this, two for that, and all that. That is not what I'm explaining. This is purely music. It is one directional and it is not expecting any kind of input from you if you are talking about the menu or whatever. Okay. I will try to find out an example related to that IVR input also and show it to you. Okay. So yeah. This is a easy thing and it's simply music playing. So Alice guy is going to tell Bob that hey, I'm terminating the session I have established with you because in the same dialogue parameter somebody else came into play and he replaced himself in place of you. So I'm terminating the session with you. And the once the RTP music started, even your music server will go and notify the situation to Bob that hey, this is what is happened, and I replaced myself in your position, and I'm playing that RTP music to that allies guy, which is been acknowledged. At some point in time, the music on hold is complete, and the Bob takes allies off hold. Whenever the Bob is taking the allies off hold, yeah, immediately Bob is sending a invite method to allies, telling that, hey, I again wanted to replace myself in place of the music server. Please accept it with the same dialog parameters. That is going to be accepted by the allies and acknowledged, and RTP will be established. And now allies is going to send a bye to music server because music server's role is finished here. Again, the music server's position is occupied by Bob, and the communication is happening between allies and Bob. So there is a bye and okay. I hope you understood the whole story. So Bob Gay is keeping on hold for the duration of the call is on hold. So you are like exchanging the, you are sending the music, and after the call hold is completed, again Bob Gay is replacing the music server in the dialog parameter. So here for everything the crucial part is your dialog parameters. That is the most important thing here. So we are going to study lot of dialog parameters in this call flow. So let us look into these dialog parameters. We'll note it down. So first one is allies to Bob. We will note down the dialog parameters there because there will be a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is the allies one, uh, and this is the call ID. Okay, and it is going to be accepted. And in the acceptance, we are having 2, 3, 4, 3, 1. That is the dialog parameter from Bob. So this is the session parameters, dialog parameters established between user agent client and user agent server for establishing a SIP session. Okay, so okay, sorry, there was a distraction. Okay, fine. So what happens next? Bob places on hold. SIP rendering is equal to no, and the call number has been incremented. After all these things are done, Bob refers to music server to establish a session with allies. What Bob is doing? Bob is sending a refer method towards a music server. Refer is a method, just like invite is a method, refer is a method. For this refer method, what are the branch parameters that are used by Bob? This is the from tag. This is from where to where. This is from Bob to music server. This is the from tag, and this is the call ID. Okay, now you can tell me, uh, um, I have already told you that, hey, these parameters only will be used by the music server. Where is it being used? These parameters are these tags and everything are looking like new ones. Yes, they are. But if you look into this refer method, the information is attached here. Refer to. If you look into this refer to part, you will be able to understand the details. So you say that, hey, this is the allies address, and I am having a session with that guy, and with call ID details are 1234560 atlanta.example.com. So that is the call ID, call ID I'm having with this allies guy, and the from tag is you see here, um, 1234 sorry 23431, that is the from tag, and to tag is 123456 7. This is the to tag. I want what kind of a feature from you? I want you to be replacing me. uh, so can you? So Bob guy is creating a separate dialogue with music server with a new tag and a new call ID, but in the information it is attaching in the form of headers. It is including the referring details, because this method itself is refer method. It is referring details. It is telling I'm having a call with this guy. I want you to replace me, and to because you will be attempting a replace with this guy, with the allies guy with this ID. I know that you require dialog parameters, so I'm sending the dialog parameters to you. This is the call ID, this is my tag, and this is that allies guys tag. I hope you can use this information and make a call with allies, communicate with allies about it. And music server is accepting this by sending a 202 message, accepted message to Bob, and in this it is creating a tag called as 526 56323. So um, this is the dialog parameters that are in play between the Bob guy and the music server. So this is between allies to Bob. This is between Bob to music server. But Bob has already forwarded music server the details about these dialog parameters to replace himself with music server. So music server is sending a notification to Bob guy. Hey, I'm accepting. I'm going to consider it. I have accepted this, and I will be notifying you as well. And it is sent a notify. In this notify, it will tell Bob guy if there is any timer for your music playing. So if it is having any timer related things, it can tell him that, hey, my music can only play maximum for 60 seconds. My music will be active. After that, it won't be active. So it is notifying about some event. After 60 seconds, automatically my role will be expired. So you have to take over within this time. So if there is any such thing is configured in the music server, it will be again dependent on the music server's configuration. Music server can put this value to infinite. Typically, when you call customer care centers of many companies, this value will be infinite. Music server ready to help the customer care executive out, even to play the music for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There is no limit for that. They can put you on hold forever. So there may be infinite amount of expiry time as well. And this is notify, um, and that is acknowledged. Now music server wanted to replace uh, himself in place of Bob with allies. So music server is sending a invite method to allies. So this is the allies ID, and there is a from address. it is creating a new dialog parameter now. So this is the dialog parameter that is getting created by Alice, sorry, music server. So music server to Alice, dialog parameter is this. This is the originating source tag, and this is the call ID A575, whatever is the call ID. Um, and to tag is not there yet. To tag will be there if Alice accepts it. But by including this new tag and new call ID, music server will himself give as a new guy. Basically, it will be introducing himself as a new guy to Alice by using these dialog parameters. And it'll say that I am sending you invite. I am sending you invite. I have been referred by the Bob guy. uh, I am myself is music at server.example.com, and I want to play a replacement role. I am replacing myself in this dialogue with this call ID 1234560 that you are having with Bob, and the tag is 23431, and the two tag is 1234567. I think you can recognize the dialog parameters with Bob guy. Bob guy himself has sent me all these details, which I am sending you as a recommendation, or my recommendation letter that I'm showing you, which I have received from Bob guy. I wanted to replace myself in place of Bob related to this particular session. So once that is been proposed by the music server, and music server is telling that I'm going to accept only send only operation, only I can send, you cannot send anything, you can only be in a receiving position from me. So Alice is sending a OK to music server 200 OK, and it is creating a new tag. So to tag, already from tag is proposed by the music server. So now these dialog parameters are completed. So there is a dialog, a fresh dialog gets established between music server and Alice. So these are the dialog parameters. And once that is done with the call ID pattern, etc., it is accepted and acknowledged by the music server. And Alice is sending a bye to Bob, telling him that, hey, you remember these tags that we have established, and there is a dialogue going on between you and me. I am canceling that by sending bye. Why I am sending bye? It did not explain any reason here, but it sent by because idea of Alice is that because already somebody else replaced the Bob, there is no need for him to maintain the session towards the Bob guy. So that is why it is terminating that session. Bob guy is immediately accepted that, and after some time, music server is reporting success back to Bob by returning a 200 OK response. Bob obtains the dialog identifiers. For example, in this notify message, music server is reporting to Bob that, hey, which dialog parameters music server is quoting towards the Bob. If you remember, there is already between Bob and music server, there are dialog parameters created 02134 and 56323 and this 480 this call ID. By using these dialog parameters, music server is sending a notify information to uh, Bob guy that, hey, Bob guy, remember, I'm notifying you about a situation here that I have successfully been connected to who the refer method has been successful. I have in place with that guy, and everything is there in place. So um, the meaning of the content length is it could be any content length present here, there will not be. So content length three dots represents that if the content information is not typically being displayed here, because the information is called as something SIP5 related information, which is not present in this document. So that is why they did not put the length, because they did not keep the message. So that is the meaning of these three dots. So it is that. and there is a 200 OK for this notification sent by the music server. That is fine, and uh, at this stage in the 200 OK, this is all good, and Bob Guy is sent a 200 OK message. This is all good for this notify. And right now, Alice is now parked with the music server. Music server keeps playing that music. At the end, what is happening? Bob is going to pick up the call once again, um, take out the call from the hold, and he is going to send the invite to Alice. At this stage, Bob is sending a message to Alice with some new tag. It is going to be a new dialogue right now. So there is no to tag field. There is a fresh tag generated in the invite. So this is the fourth dialogue parameter that is getting created again between Bob to Alice. So that is the from tag, and the call ID is a fresh call ID right now between the Bob and Alice. And Bob guy is telling Alice that, hey, I'm replacing myself in the music server's call, in place of music server. I'm replacing myself. So I know that a music server is having a session with you with this as the call ID, and this is the to tag, and this is the from tag. I got this information from the music server, so I know that this is the session that is getting going on between music server and you with these dialog parameters. I wanted to myself replace music server in music server's place. I'll come, but Bob to Alice is new dialog parameters are getting created, a new from tag and a new call ID. And once this replacement method that is proposed, if it is going to be accepted by the Alice, Alice is going to send 200 OK, and there is a to tag created by the Alice, which is this particular value. So this is a fresh dialogue that is going on between Bob and Alice. So whatever the dialogue that Alice and Bob created between each other in the earlier, the dialogue parameters were not present right now after this music on hold is taking place. Those dialogue parameters have been removed because there is a lot of exchange happened, and first we are having an active session with Bob. Music server replaced you, then again Bob replaced the music server. So again music server to Alice also fresh dialog parameters got created. All those things are replaced every time you are shifting to new set of dialog parameters. So that's also done, and after this the call will be accepted by the acknowledged and accepted by them, and the call will go on. So we will be sending by towards the music server with music server related dialog parameters. We send by, and it is been accepted. Okay. So I hope you understood why do we use these dialog parameters in SIP. It's very important to understand dialog parameters because this is the crucial details that gets exchanged in almost all critical scenarios in SIP environment. On the paper it looks like simple information, but especially when multiple call forwards with call holds and etc happens, your dialog parameters might be changed multiple times because a lot of components will be replacing one another. Like this year we can see that there are four dialog parameters got created. Okay. Transfer unattended. What is the meaning of unattended transfer? Without attending, you are transferring the call. What is the meaning of it? So there is an invite and RTP traffic established, and Alice is performing unattended transfer. Alice is sending a refer to Bob. Uh, he is sending a refer method to Bob, telling Bob guy that, hey, I'm referring you to Carol guy. Please go and talk to Carol. You yourself establish a session with Carol. I'm sending the details to you in the refer method. Accepted, notified, okay, buy happened. After this buy happened, Bob guy is sending a message to Carol that, hey man, I have been referred by allies to you. You seems to be the boss of the allies. Allies have told me that he could not provide the information, whatever that I'm seeking. He referred you here. So uh, can you please accept it? Okay, so that is what Bob is sending to Carol. So I am referred by allies, ringing, okay, acknowledgement, RTP traffic established. After that, the Bob will send a notification to allies that I am having a successful communication with Carol. And after that, that call will be terminated, which is not shown here because they'll cut out a lot of messages because it will become too many messages in these call flows. So the messages that we are interested right now are simply this F5 step, which is the refer method, referred to Carol, and referred by allies, invite being sent there. So we are only interested in these two things. Of course, we may be interested in F4 or F3 or F4 to see the dialog parameters ongoing. So F3 dialog parameters are 314159, our regular dialog parameters 1234567, 123456701 atlanta.example.com. So once that is done, there is a refer method. Alice is telling to Bob that, hey, I'm asking you to contact Carol guy. I'm referring you there. Please tell the Carol guy that when you contact Carol, tell him this is my ID and I have referred you there. Okay, so report that. I'm referring. Referring is the method that is taking place right now. And Bob has accepted and notified, etc. And once that is done, you are sending a bye. Fine. Bob is sending a message to Carol. Invite. In this invite, Bob is telling Carol that with a new dialog parameters getting created with between Bob and Carol, a new from tag, there is no to tag, there is this call ID present, but it is telling that I am being referred by allies. You are not providing dialog parameters to him because it is not a call replacement or something. It is just a reference. That's it. Somebody referred you. Allies referred you. That's why I'm coming to you.
Means sir is okay, sir means it's got diverted.
Yeah.
In another word,
It's not even called divert.
we can say that
You can call it intelligently. So for example, you and me are having the call. You called me for something. I told you that, hey
okay.
man, listen, I don't know the information you are asking, but I know the person who knows this information. So what do I do is I will not give you that guy's phone number in a manual way. You don't need to note it down. Typically, if I know some person who knows the answer that you are seeking, what do I do is I look into contact book and keep telling you the number, and you will be noting it down on a piece of a paper by using a pen. That is old method. Instead of it, what I will tell you is that information is available on my SIP phone's contact book. I will search for that person's details. I will send this information to you on the SIP message itself, on the ongoing SIP call, the dialog parameters. By using them itself, I can send you that information. That information comes to you when you get that information on your SIP phone screen. If you say place, the automatically the invite method will be sent to that other guy who I am sending you as a reference here. Are you understanding it? It is happening in the phone. I am not trying to
Oh,
tell you the number orally with mouth. Instead of it, I am sending the number in the SIP mechanism itself from my contact book. Is much advanced
okay.
methods. Because of these reasons, only companies will prefer VoIP phones, SIP phones, because inbuilt we can build a lot of features by using these SIP mechanisms in the background. This is not possible in normal phone. Of course, you can send your contact details of somebody in the form of a SMS or something like that to someone, but that is not within your call. You are sending it externally as a SMS or something. That guy need to open that SMS and click on that SMS to make a call. But this is going within the call. You see?
Okay, sir. It's done ongoing call.
Yes. It's going on ongoing dialogue parameters. The information is being sent.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So Bob Guy is sending a invite to Carol with a new dialog parameters, with a new tag, with no to tag present call ID, and the contact field information, and referred by Alice at atlanta.example.com. Hey, I'm making normally I won't make a call to. I don't know who the hell are you. Uh, I have never had your number at etc. But I have been referred to you by Alice guy. So you are keeping this reference here. What happens in a SIP phone screen? Typically, when this happens, is the Carol guy who is seeing this incoming call will be able to see this information. Hey, this incoming call that you are getting in the form of an invite from a unknown guy called as Bob is referred by Alice guy. So because I know Alice, I know that every now and then Alice will refer some calls to me. When that information gets displayed on the Carol's phone, it understands what is the need this Bob guy is going to have, because typically Alice will refer the people to me in these kind of needs. It may be a business related query, and Alice will be referring because he is not having the products. For example, Bob wanted to buy a product which is not available with Alice, and Alice has told that I know somebody who has that product. I'm sending you that information. You place a session with that. So in that, these details are there. The moment Carol guy sees that this call is being referred by Alice, that information displayed on the screen, Carol understands that, oh, I think there is a now new requirement for a particular product. Typically, the Alice guy will keep referring me for this particular product to their customers. I know what kind of thing I can expect here. So all this SIP information can be displayed beautifully on the screen in terms of who is referring. Okay, so Carol guy know that this Bob guy is not placing the call on his own level. He is placing this call because referred by somebody. You see, there is much more information here in a SIP call. The details can be displayed on the Carol's mobile SIP device, or if it is a computer, it will be displayed on the computer. These kind of things won't be there. For example, if you take a normal telephone, a landline telephone, if somebody is making a call to you, you can see who is calling to you, but you don't know that that guy is calling to you referred by somebody. Okay, you don't know that such thing at all. Oh, after you pick up the call and you ask, you say hello, the other guy will introduce himself and tell, hey, I need so and so thing. When I called so and so person, that guy referred you. He provided me your number, and that is why I'm calling. You need to explain all that story. Now, all that story is cut off. Okay, so because Carol guy know that this guy is already been referred by Alice in that SIP information level itself. Are you getting the advantages of SIP here over normal phones?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the call would be accepted by Bob, and it will be terminated. So we can skip that part. Transfer attended. Earlier one was unattended transfer. What is the meaning of unattended? Alice provided the Carol the information to Bob and told the Bob guy that you only make the call. Um, you do it. It has told. But now it is what is happening. Alice has made a call, RTP session gets established. Bob is keeping the phone on hold to Alice. Bob is telling Alice that, hey, you are asking something which I don't have. but I know a person who has this. What do I do is I will put you on hold, and after you are on hold, I will contact the other Carol guy, and if he accepts the call, if he accepts to take the call from you, then I will refer your details to him. I will put him on hold. Then I will send the Carol details to you with the ongoing session parameters. Then once you will contact the Carol on the dialog parameters I provide, the Carol guy will talk to you and will provide you whatever you need. So you're understanding it here. So basically, what is happening?
Yeah, basically
Bob
it's
guy.
contains for a normal mobile. I think so.
So Bob Guy is not providing simply the details to Alice about the contact details of Carol. Instead, he put the phone on hold with Alice, told him that I need to check with Carol whether he is willing to take your call at this stage. I am not sure. Carol sometimes is interested, sometimes he is not, maybe busy. I don't know. I will just call him myself because I need to convince him to take your call or whatever. So I'll place a call to him, talk to him, and I'll put him on hold. Then I will provide the Carol's dialogue details to you. I will send it in the form of reference. Once you accept it, you send the invite method replacing me in the dialogue that I am having with Carol. You replace in my position. It B here represents Bob. Bob guy is getting replaced by allies in this proposal, and Carol accepts it because Carol orally accepted it earlier already to take this incoming call, acknowledged, and RTP traffic is established between allies and allies and Carol. Carol terminated the thing with Bob guy, and that is done. And you are terminating the after communicating for some time, you are terminating it with allies as well. So this is called as attended. Attended means you are not blindly forwarding the details and washing your hands. Instead, you yourself making sure that the call is getting established. So that's the part. So allies to Bob. Um so there are dialog parameters, that are regular dialog parameters 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 3 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 00, and then allies is kept the established a session and put on hold. The rendering parameter is added and your O parameter is incremented. And when you are on hold, Bob calling Carol with a new dialog parameters with new tag and no to tag call ID. And once it is ringing and accepted by Carol, Bob talked to Carol for some time, and Carol accepted to take the incoming call from allies. So Bob is keeping Carol on hold now. So Bob is sending a message to Carol with the invite with SIP rendering value and set to no, and then your O parameter is incremented from 834 to 835, which tells that Carol on hold right now, and Carol accepted it. Once that is done, acknowledged, and then what are you going to do? You are sending a refer method. So Bob is sending a refer method to allies, telling allies that, hey man, I'm having uh, these are the tag parameters that you and me are using, but listen carefully. I am having a session with a guy called as Carol, whose ID is this, and whose I'm having a call ID with him with this, and this is the this is the to tag, and this is the from tag that I'm maintaining with Carol. So I'm sending you the Carol details. I'm sending the session parameters I'm having with Carol. You yourself have to replace in this dialogue with Carol. Talk to Carol and tell him that I'm replacing the Bob guy. So that is what is happening here. So tell him that I'm being referred by the Bob. So tell the Carol guy that. So once it is accepted, a notify will happen after this acknowledged. Alice is sending a message to Carol in the invite with a fresh tag, with the fresh dialog parameters, with call ID being present and to tag is not there, and it is telling Carol guy that I have been referred by Bob guy, and I am replacing myself in the place of Bob, because Bob is already having a dialogue with you with this call ID and with this to tag and with this from tag, and I am replacing myself in that position, in the Bob's position. Who referred me to you? Bob guy itself is referred me to you by providing these dialog parameters that he is having with you. Uh, and if it once it is been accepted by Carol, OK is sent by Carol, and the to tag gets created. It has been accepted. Right now, the session is established between Carol and Alice. Now, both of them will tell bye bye to Bob, and you know, ultimately Carol and Alice will communicate with each other for some time. After that, even that call gets terminated. Anyway, that part we can ignore. Transfer instant messaging. What is messaging? There is an invite call going on, both way RTP traffic established. Bob guy is sending a message to Carol. Message. It is not a separate SIP session. Messages are different from SIP sessions. In this message, Bob guy is telling the Carol guy that, hey man, I'm having a call with a person called as Alice. He is irritating guy. I cannot deal with him. Can you please take my place and deal with him? I'm sending that call details to you in the form of a message. If you are okay with it, send me a okay. Carol is sending a okay, and Carol guy is sending a message to Alai. Say, hey, I wanted to replace myself in the place of Bob in the ongoing session between you and Bob. I'm quoting that dialog parameters. Please accept. Once this guy accepted, okay, and the RTP traffic gets established between Alais and Carol, and Alais sends a bye to Bob guy. So Bob guy have escaped from the headache. So if Carol is like a subordinate for Bob, Alice is called Bob to find out some details. Bob guy felt irritated and he said Alice that, hey man, just hold on. I will put somebody else on work here who can help you out. If there is, a SIP message comes from the other guy, accept it. So when a message arrives from Carol, the moment Alice accepts it, 200 OK will be done and call will be established with Carol. Now instead of Bob speaking, Carol would be speaking with Alice and talking to Alice. And meanwhile, the session with Bob will be terminated by Alice. So the important part that we have to study is this F5, and also we can see F4 for the dialog parameters. So F4 dialog parameters are usual 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 1 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 0 0. And if you come down in the F5 sent from Bob to Carol, it is creating a new tag, and there is no to tag, there is call ID, and it is sending a message. Message is a method. In the message, it is sending HTML information. The information can be sent in the form of SDP, XML, HTML. SIP can use a lot of top layer protocols. So in this case, it is using information in the text format or HTML format. Href, I hope the people who are already like doing any kind of HTML coding and all that will know it. Hey, the information is, do you want to take this call from me? Uh, I want you to help me out. And the call details are these. This is the call ID. This is the person with whom I am having the call, and this is the call ID. This is the to tag, and this is the from tag, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I want you to replace me. Can you please accept it? So when you send this information to Carol, it will be dependent on Carol's acceptance. He sent okay, 200 okay, I'm accepting this thing. And Carol decided to place a call. It sent the invite to Alice, and with a new tag parameter, with there is no to tag present here, with a new call ID, sending an invite method to Alice and telling him that I'm replacing somebody. Whom I'm replacing? I'm replacing on this call ID details. This is the call ID. On this to tag and the from tag you are having with Bob, I'm replacing myself in that position. So if you accept it, I will be talking to you instead of Bob. So when these details arrives at Alice understands that Bob has put somebody else on, on here. So he will take over. So Carol will take over here and start speaking to Alice once it is been accepted by Alice. So, and then the remaining thing is simple. Call forwarding unconditional. I hope you all know what is the meaning of call forwarding. Call forwarding means forward the call. Okay, so invite trying proxy uh, is configured in such a way that the guy who you are making a call to is not available in the location that you are making a call. He is available in a different location. Proxy is forwarding the call to gateway. Gateway, whenever it is referred, it always will be understood as a PSTN gateway or your ISDN gateway. So the user right now is, even though he is a SIP user, he is not available in a SIP network. He may be available in a 2G network or a 3G network, and or he is available right now on a telephone. The telephone details are configured on the proxy. The telephone number is configured on the proxy. That means if somebody is making a call to you on somebody's SIP ID, you can configure your home proxy in such a way that I am not in a position to take the calls on my SIP ID. I'm not going to be present in SIP ID. I'm going into a jungle where there won't be any IP network. There will be only one landline I got available in the nearby village. So you have to forward the call to that landline phone. That landline phone details are stored into the your company's SIP proxy. You yourself might have stored this information into your device, and the details are known to the proxy once you have configured it. So your proxy understood these details that you are right now temporarily not available in the network. You are relocated to a different location, and that location is a PSTN device or a landline phone or a mobile device or whatever what it could be. So then proxy will report allies with a 181 provisional response that the call is being forwarded. I don't uh, I'm not forwarding the call directly to the SIP user, and it is being forwarded somewhere else. Reason is the user is not available right now under this SIP network, is available somewhere. So invite message will go to gateway. Gateway will forward that call to the other end unit. But when gateway is forwarding it to the other end unit, these SIP messages will be converted into SS7 protocol messages called as ISUP protocol messages, ISDN user part protocol messages. Because after gateway, you have to use SS7 protocol messages. Okay, so and the call will be uh, going between your STP components and your SS7 transfer points. It will be crossing and SSPs, SS7 signaling points. It will cross all those SS7 components, and finally it will reach that landline or whatever the number that you have configured in your proxy as your temporary number, because you are leaving SIP network and going into a telephone network. So once the phone starts ringing, the phone will send a ISUP message back to the gateway. So what is the gateway do? Once it receives a message called as the phone is ringing, this gateway will convert that ISUP message again, which is a SS7 message, into a SIP message called as a ringing, and it sends this to proxy. Proxy sends this ringing message to allies. So gateway is doing two jobs. It is receiving the SIP messages on one side, converting it into ISUP before it is sending those messages into your ISDN network, your telephone network or PLMNs or PLS, PSTNs, or if it is going into any traditional network, we need to convert it into ISUP. For example, instead of giving a landline phone number, You have given a mobile phone number, like a 2G mobile phone number, a GSM mobile phone number. You have stored in the proxy as your alternative number to reach to. When that invite message comes to gateway will convert it to again ISAP. The ISAP messages will be traveling through SS7 components called as STPs, SSPs, and finally the call reach a GMSC. Um, because you have quoted a uh, mobile phone number, it reaches GMSC. GMSC questions HLR where this bugger is. Okay, it HLR tells him that the mobile is right now registered with so and so MSC, and then GMSC forwards that ISAP message to MSC. Okay, it forwards it to MSC. MSC understands mobile is this particular mobile is registered with me. Yes, with this particular ISDN number, he has registered with me, and he is right now available in so and so location area identity LAI. I know that that location area is comprising of how many cells, and the cells are present under which RNC or which BSC. MSC know the details. Dependent on whether the mobile is present in a 2G network or a 3G network, MSC will either forward the call to RNC or MSC will forward the call to BSC. Tell the RNC or BSC that, hey man, I'm sending you a paging message. You have to distribute that paging message in this entire location area where the mobile could be there in any one of those cells in that location area. If the mobile is here under UMTS network RNC, it comes back to MSC that, hey, please tell me who is calling me. MSC will validate whether the user is genuine or not, create the security mechanism. It will perform IMEI validation. After all those steps, MSC will tell him so and so person is calling, and this guy says that I have received the call. And when the resources are created here between RNC to mobile, UMTS radio resources are created, this phone starts ringing. When this phone starts ringing, that ringing message will come to MSC. MSC will be sending that ringing message um, to GMSC. This is called as an alert message. That alert message will be converted into a ISAP message, and that message will be sent to GMSC. GMSC through this SS7 signaling points, it will reach your gateway. Your gateway will understand that the phone is ringing. I have received a ISAP message from the other side, and I will convert this ISAP message into equivalent SIP message called as ringing, and I start sending that ringing message to the allies, telling that the other phone is ringing. I hope you are understanding this whole story right now. Now the SIP call is being forwarded to a PSTN or a PLMN user with the help of a SIP2 PSTN gateway, or SIP2 PLMN gateway, or SIP2 ISDN gateway. Gateway could be which is leading you to the old technology networks, to the CS calls. Yes.
Sir,
If it is PSTN or PLMN, after gateway, it is using SS7 signaling, because your traditional ISDN networks work on SS7 protocol stacks. So that is why I told you that it is on ISAP, ISDN user part. That is a SS7 protocol. Yeah, tell me.
it's, sir, yeah. So when the request goes to the other party end user,
Hmm,
and so for when it reaches there, so
hmm,
this all the nodes like RNC, GMSC or MSC,
hmm.
those will be considered as a hop, like for this max forward concept,
Those will be.
considered as the hop. I mean the nodes. I mean the hop by hop it will go, right? The max forward count, it will count as this, or I mean
No,
how,
no, no,
or
no,
only
no, no. Those
this
hops won't be in play right now here in the SS7, until and unless if SS7 is also having that hop concept and some limitations, how many your STPs we must use and how many SSPs we must use, like that. If there are any such limitations in the SS7 network, then that place will be there only between STPs and SSPs. That forwarding parameters won't be leading to GMSC and MSC. That will be only on the forwarding nodes. In SS7, the forwarding nodes are STPs and SSPs. Okay, so if at all any count values need to be considered in SS7 technology network, that values will be considered only by STPs and SSPs. But mostly there won't be none. There would be none there. So they may not be doing any of such activities. They simply forward it to the end user and wherever the end user is, and the call will be either accepted or rejected.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Um, the point here is the SIP2 when it comes to the functionalities, there may not be a one-to-one functionality mapping between SIP to other technologies. If, for example, if SIP is containing 25 parameters and each parameter is doing a job, there is no guarantee that we will be converting all those 25 parameters into some equivalent parameters in ISAP. It may not be. If ISAP is supporting equivalent parameters to the kind of parameters we are having in your SIP invite method, we will use it and convert it. We will do that. But if it is not supported, for example, in ISAP, one of the functionality that is present in SIP is not supported by the ISAP, we have to ignore that parameter. We'll be ignoring it. That means the feature won't be active anywhere in your ISDN network. It will be active only if you are operating within the SIP premises.
Got it, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this call also, it might be say SRVCC call because call continuity is going to
No, I will
GSM and
explain
WCDM.
SRVCC again. Don't mix all the things at once. We will go to SRVCC, study that separately.
Okay. It means this call is not say SRVCC, right?
SRVCC actually refers to if the mobile equipment is in LTE network and if the mobile is having a two bands like LTE band and 3G band, you can play with both the bands at the same time. Data will be going on in LTE network and voice call will be going on 2G or 3G network. That is what SRVCC is all about. Okay, so it is nothing to do with the thing that we are studying here. Okay, there is no relationship between this and that at all. You should not be creating some kind of a confusion by yourself. When I come to that part, I will try to explain a similar scenario and explain you in that case how it happens, because nobody knows SRVCC, only you know SRVCC. The others won't be understanding what I'm talking about. So when I come to SRVCC feature teaching, then time I will explain this part. Hold on till that time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So allies to proxy invite trying and call is being forwarded invite, and when so between this F4 to F5 step, lot of things happen done by the gateway, but that information is not present in this document, because whatever happens after gateway between the F4 and F5 step, that is all not non SIP protocol messages. They are ISAP protocol messages which are not present in this document. They will be present maybe somewhere else, but not specifically in this document. So if you look into the details of it, uh, you are making a call to allies to Bob guy, and we are calling a SIP URI. We are not calling a telephone URI. We are calling a SIP URI to the Bob guy with the from tag, and there is no to tag. There is a call ID, and what happens at this stage? You are getting trying, and you are getting a 180 one call is being forwarded. It is telling you that this call is getting forwarded somewhere else, and the tag is created by the uh, proxy, and coming back to Alice that I'm forwarding the call. And when the proxy forwards it to the gateway, proxy tells the gateway that, hey man, based on the configuration stored by the human being who is routing his SIP calls onto his mobile phone or SIP calls onto the landline, who is having this ID and who is under this gateway, like gateway1.example.com is the domain, and the user is routing his calls to his phone, his SIP calls also to the phone. You have your SIP, if your SIP phone connected to your home, but when you are going out, whenever whatever the calls you get on your SIP phone, you won't get it to your mobile until and unless you do your routing. So you have configured such a route by giving the phone number at the rate of a domain. So based on this phone number and the gateway details here, we also understand that it is a phone number configured there, and we are forwarding the invite method from proxy to gateway, telling the gateway that, hey, this guy called as Alice is making a call for a guy called as Bob, who has configured himself to be available on a phone number this, and you need to search for this phone number and let him know that he is getting an incoming call, and get me response, get me back with the response. So that is that. And yes, gateway is sending a message to proxy that it is ringing. The ringing means the other guy is phone sees ringing. Now in this ringing, after the ringing and okay, at the time of okay, what does gateway do? Gateway is sending a message to Alice through the proxy with the 200 OK. In this, it is sending SDP information. In the SDP, it is sending the gateway's IP address, which is the gateway's FQDN fully qualified domain name, and this is the gateway's port number 3456. These are gateway details. That means the RTP traffic is going to get established between Alice and gateway in the IP mechanism. The IP packets will be transmitted from Alice to gateway. And what happens once the gateway receives this traffic in the form of RTP UDP IP traffic? Gateway is when call is established already with a ISDN user, either onto a PLMN or PSTN. Already there would have been already a circuit created between the gateway and the other mobile user, because that is using a circuit switched mechanism. A logical circuit will be created all along the path, all the way from your gateway up to the mobile device, mobile to the BTS, BTS to BSC, BSC to MSC, MSC to GMSC, GMSC to SS7 trunking components. From there, it will be creating a logical link with your gateway. There is a circuit created, because we won't use packet switching in circuit switching networks, especially in your ISDN network. User traffic has to travel on circuit switching mechanism. So we have to consider that there is a logical circuit got already created between the gateway and the user. So any traffic that goes to the gateway on this IP address, which is which is available by converting this into IP address with the help of DNS on this port number, any traffic that is received by gateway will link the traffic onto that circuit that it is already created with that end telephone user. Where the call is going on. So on one side we are using IP technology, on the other side we are using circuit switching mechanism. So on two different sides we will be using um, two different mechanisms for the user traffic. So we are mixing PS traffic. We are using PS traffic on one side, CS traffic on the other side. Gateway's left hand side is PS traffic, right hand side is circuit switch traffic. Both the things would be linked. If gateway receives any user traffic or voice traffic on the circuit it is created with the mobile phone, and the traffic your gateway is going to send it to Alice. because already gateway got to know the Alice IP address and port number for the user plane. Alice will start, gateway starts sending that voice traffic to Alice on that IP address and port number. It will be doing that. So um, don't just imagine in your head that gateway is going to give the IP address of the mobile phone that you are on call, or the landline that you are on the call. The landline phone or the mobile phone may not be having IP address. They may be only connected to CS network. PSC is maybe not activated on the mobile phone. You are not connected to the data. So the mobile is only having CS services. So you have to work from the gateway to the end mobile by using circuit switching mechanism, not by using packet switching mechanism. So there is no IP address available for the mobile who is taking this incoming SIP call at a different location on a mobile phone instead of taking it on a SIP device. So that is why the gateway's address is the IP address and gateway's port number is the port number. And the traffic is sent in the packet format up to gateway. And proxy sent it to Alice. Alice accepted it by sending an acknowledgement back. And right now the traffic gets established between Alice and gateway. It is not established between Alice and the telephone. Don't ever think that. It will be established between Alice and gateway. The voice traffic gets established there. And gateway to the end mobile phone. But that is by using the circuit switching mechanism, the circuit created with SS7 technology plus your radio protocols, like by using your radio resources between radio components by using traffic channel allocations. If you take GSM, so mobile up to BSC, we will be using traffic channels. BSC to MSC, we will be using some ATM virtual channels. MSC to GMSC, another virtual channel. GMSC to through the SS7 transfer points up to the gateway, we will be creating virtual channels with the help of ATM technology. All those virtual channels will form something called as a circuit all the way up to your mobile user. On that, we send the voice traffic, not by using IP addressing. IP addressing only works between Alice and gateway. Is that point clear, guys? I'm repeating it so that you can understand that whole logic. Pranay, I'll introduce H.248. Hold on to that thought. Yes, H.248 is the MGCP protocol, Media Gateway Control Protocol, to control the media gateways. So, like this gateway, we use that.
Hello, sir. Actually, I have a doubt here. Sir, here how the user plane data got converted from the SIP domain to the lower technology, the 2G or 3G.
That's where your gateway have to play the role. That is the same question Pranay has asked about a protocol called H.248. This H.248 is called as MGCP protocol, Media Gateway Control Protocol. Along with your signaling gateway, right now whatever the gateway we are having in the middle is typically called as a signaling gateway. Along with the signaling gateway, there will be a sub-functionality inside the gateway called as media gateway. The duty of the media gateway is if he is receiving the RTP traffic, for example, if it is receiving G.711 codecs, your media gateway will convert the G.711 traffic into, for example, a GSM codec. It will be converting it into and sending it on the circuit mechanism. So that the duty to be done by your media gateway, some additional component called that is going to be present there called as media gateway. You got that?
Yes, I got that.
Sir, could you please repeat one more time this user equals to phone? How this works?
Is the mobile user basically the mobile traffic basically will be using latest codecs in our IP network. It will be using the latest codecs on your GSM mobile phone or your landline mobile phone. The same codecs may be available, may not be available. So, what is the job of the media gateways? I will first explain you a general example. You have a MP4 audio file. You have got that MP4 audio file from somebody. You have a audio player installed on your in your computer, but that audio player doesn't play MP4 audio files because that is not supported. This is a old software. So what do you have to do? Because the only software that you have is not playing MP4, you have to now convert it into some other format that can be understood by your player. So you may use some other conversion software, converting it from MP4 format into MP3 format, for example, and then after converting it, you can actually start playing that music audio file on your player that is available. So MP4 audio codec format is different, MP3 audio codec format is different. We are performing some kind of a conversion. Same way, on one side of the spectrum, from your SIP mobile phone, SIP device to your gateway, we might be sending some advanced codecs like G.711 or G.729 or these kind of advanced codecs you may be using, and sending the voice traffic by using RTP, UDP IP. Source IP address is the SIP device, destination IP address is the gateway. Gateway received those voice packets in G.711 format. But Gateway understood that the landline phone that is on operational on the other side, that bugger doesn't support this codec, this voice codec. That the landline phone is only having pulse code modulation, PCM modulation audio codec. So what your media gateway understands, or your gateway signaling gateway plus media gateway understands. Media gateway says that, hey, if I send this G.711 as it is to telephone by using the circuit I have created with the telephone, what happens is your telephone cannot convert it into the voice data. It will fail. So because the telephone won't play anything, or if it plays, it will be gibberish. The other human being won't understand anything at all. So what need to be done? You must convert the media type right now from G.711 into the GSM codec or your pulse code modulation that you are using. It should get converted into that format. Then after converting, then this data will be sent on the circuit that is created between this media gateway component and the end telephone. Are you understanding it? What is the meaning of media conversion here? Just like how your SIP messages are getting converted into ISIP messages, I'm explaining you how one type of voice codecs are getting converted into another type of voice codecs with the help of a additional component called as a media gateway component, which may be normally a small part of your gateway also, or it can be present separately as well. If it is present separately, your signaling gateway, nothing but your gateway, will communicate to this media gateway with a protocol called as H.248 or MGCP, Media Gateway Control Protocol. Tell him that, hey man, from the SIP signaling messages and ISIP signaling messages that I have communicated, one side I have communicated with SIP, on the other side I have communicated with ISIP. But after that, my understanding is on SIP side, the codec that is operating is G.711. On ISIP side, the codec that is operating is pulse code modulation. What I want you to do is, if you receive any G.711 audio codec data from the SIP user, you have to convert it into pulse code modulation and send it towards the telephone. If telephone sends any voice codecs in pulse code modulation format to you, you have to convert it into G.711 and send it towards the SIP phone. So this is related to the user data part. Okay, so just you have to convert the SIP signaling messages into ISIP, ISIP signaling messages into SIP. That is related to signaling. Here I am talking about the audio codecs. But audio codec, it could be a different approach also. For example, whatever the codec data that the telephone is using, if that is supported by the SIP user, they might be actually generating that common codec itself. In that case, media gateway doesn't need to do any conversion. Just it need to receive the traffic on the IP transport on one side. If it needs to put on the circuit created on the other side. That's all. He is not needed to do any kind of a conversion. If the same codec is available on both the devices, if the same codec is not available, the media gateway component have to perform this conversion role, codec conversion role. Is that clear? Is that understood, guys? Whoever have asked that question.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah. Go ahead, Proxima.
sir, could you please explain one more time this user equals to phone is getting used in case of call forwarding?
Which one?
User equals to phone. Whenever there is a phone number is getting used in CPURI, and after that they have mentioned user equals to phone, and only in the call forwarding case they have mentioned.
Call is getting forwarded
If
181 code. What is the problem? Which message you wanted to see? 181? Proxy is telling
no,
that.
sir. In that, yeah, sir. Can you please come down little?
Okay, I'll just show you this. Tell me in which message you're talking about. Invite ringing. Okay. ACK. RTP is getting established between allies and gateway. And then finally call is terminated.
Sir, can you please come down little?
Okay, I'm coming down. Here.
Sir, go to the buy. Buy. You can. Yes, here, sir. Yes, sir.
Go up.
Yeah, sir. In that, whatever the place you are now, contact is suppose the the phone number at the domain name is mentioned as CPR, right? And user equals to phone.
Yeah.
So, is it indicating
Typically,
like
it should
the
be in
phone number is transferred?
it should be in a format that is supported by CPURI. Typically, the CPURI will contain the user ID. Maybe there may not be there, but you must have the domain name. So your user ID is actually the phone number, but the domain name is gateway1.example.com, which is basically referring to that gateway to which you are in contact with, your proxy is having a relationship with. So indirectly, the meaning is the call is getting forwarded here to this particular gateway. Gateway is the domain here, and gateway will deal with this call
Yes, sir.
to this number. Actually, once it reaches the gateway, this domain part will be removed. Only this address will be used inside your ISUP messages. This address is ISDN user number. Plus one is your country code, and this is your actual phone number 9727293660.
Yes, but is it why when they have mentioned like user equals to phone, that means it is indicating and saying that it is the phone
It is
number
a
of that
phone user,
particular user,
yes. It is a phone.
like that.
The call is leading up to a phone number.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So I hope you got clear on this gateway part. We will see more related to these SIP2, PSTN, and PLMN calls further. And call forwarding busy. From here onwards, I will not go into the messages. We will directly study the higher level information itself, and we'll be able to understand. I will send you this document. That time you can observe into the contents of each and every call flow. Call forwarding busy. So there is an invite to user B1, and user B1 has reported busy to proxy. Proxy is configured in such a way that whenever user B1 has configured the details into proxy in such a way that whenever I send you a busy, you must forward the call to my subordinate called as B2. You must do it. So what proxy is doing? Proxy is letting allies know that your call is being forwarded right now to a different place, to a user called as B2. Why? Because this fellow is busy. That is why the call is getting forwarded to the other place, and that phone is ringing, and okay, the call is established, and it is RTP established and by. So the idea here is, what is the important point here? B1, user B1 storing the information in his configuration, which already got to know to the proxy that whenever B1 is busy on an already existing call or whatever, proxy is supposed to forward the same invite method to somebody else. It is like this B1 is a customer care guy, or maybe a sales guy who is receiving incoming calls for sales requests. But if the user B1 is busy, company don't want to lose the customer. Automatically, the call must be forwarded to another customer care executive, like who can take up that call and explain the details about the product, because business is important over here. Okay, so that is 2.8. So now we are going to into 2.10. Call forwarding no answer. Again, this is also a procedure where invite ringing, but the user B1 is not answering. Again, the configuration of the B1 is such a way that once the a ringing timeout happens in proxy will automatically cancel this call towards it, and proxy will report to allies that your call is being forwarded to a different user other than the user that you are calling. So I'm forwarding the call to user B2, call is established. So again, this particular scenario is also related to the configuration part. So whenever timeout happens, proxy is configured in such a way that whichever call is cancelled automatically after a particular amount of time must be forwarded to another customer care executive, so that you will not be losing any business. So this is that. Three-way conference. So what is the meaning of three-way conference? Um, there are three guys, Alice, Bob, and Carol. They wanted to be themselves in a conference. So there is a session established between Alice and Bob. After that, Bob is sending an invite and keeping the Alice on hold. So this is a re-invite, keeping Alice on hold. And then Bob is sending a invite method to Carol to join already the ongoing call. Once he accepts it and RTP traffic established, the Bob guy will be playing the media mixer role. What is the meaning of media mixer is, if multiple guys are speaking, the voice must be merged, or voice must be mixed. That mixer role is going to be played by your Bob, because we can see that the RTP traffic is arriving from Alice to Bob and Carol to Bob. So Bob must be playing the media mixer role. So um, so Bob is the mixer here. So to report that he is the mixer, your Bob will include a parameter whenever it is initiating a conference called as ease focus. Whenever this ease focus is set, then You are reporting yourself as a component which can do the mixing operation of the voice data, especially when the conference is going on. Mixing is very much necessary. For example, right now we are all in conference. Like let us like 35 people are in conference along with me. Now, if any two, three guys will speak, all the data will go to the GoToMeeting server. GoToMeeting server will be playing the mixer role. It will mix all these three, four people's voice who are speaking at the same time, and the mixed voice will be sent to rest of the people who are listening. Of course, it will be gibberish. The data is collapsed because all the voices got merged there. But you need to perform this kind of a merging operation for sure. If only one person is speaking, no problem. That one data only will be sent, a copy will be sent to everybody. But when multiple people are speaking, mixing should happen. There should be a mixer component. But because right now here there are no external mixers, one of the component themselves is acting as a media mixer component by setting this ease focus parameter. So if you look into the invite and ringing, the call has been accepted. And when Bob is sending a invite, re-invite method to allies, he's setting the ease focus, telling that, hey man, I'm activating call hold here. So the SDU information has been incremented. I am putting you on call hold. Reason is we are going to have an additional user coming in play here, and I'm going to play the media mixer role to set that I'm setting this ease focus parameter. So different parameters would be used for different purposes. So the ease focus parameter is to tell that I'm a media mixer component for this conference call. You are reporting it. You are reporting that. And Bob is then sending the message to Carol by setting this ease focus, telling the Carol guy that, hey, there is a ongoing call already, and I want you to join that call, and I'm going to be playing the media mixer role by setting this ease focus. So there is a conference going on. This ease focus will tell that it is a conference call. So first ease focus will tell that we are shifting into a conference call. This ease focus will tell to Carol that the incoming call itself will automatically join him into a conference call. And from then onwards, the RTP traffic would be sent, and media mixing will take place. Three-way conference, third party joins. There is a call ongoing between Alice and Bob, and somehow Carol got to know about the session details that are ongoing between Alice and Bob. By quoting that session details, Carol is sending a message to Bob guy that, hey, I wanted to join. So here the join procedure is taking place as part of invite. I wanted to join the already ongoing session between you and Alice. So it is telling this to Bob guy, and 180 ringing, and the invite you have put it on ease focus on. Once that is accepted, you will be sending a OK with ease focus on, and once that is accepted, RTP traffic will be established. And now the Carol is also into the conference. Still Bob is playing the media mixer role here as well. So here there is a join method. So if at all we are interested with this F5 step. So if you go to that F5, invite Carol. So there is a new tag and there is a new call ID, and it is a join. Yeah, I wanted to join myself into this already ongoing call with this call ID and with this from tag and to tag. Please allow me to come there. It is the meaning of that. Find me. You have sent an invite to proxy. Proxy is sent the invite to B1. B1 phone is ringing. He did not pick up. Timeout happened. Proxy decided to cancel that, and proxy decided to automatically forward the invite method to another user. So it is like again a complex customer care service center here. So one guy is not picking up the call, you automatically the invite is getting forwarded to the other user. That guy is not logged in yet. That means you can keep your SIP phones into a position called as logged in or not logged in. So if the user B2 is not logged in, uh, that information is notified to proxy, it acknowledged, and it is forwarding the same invite method to user B3. User B3 says, I'm busy here, I cannot take this call again. You acknowledge it and you finally forward your invite method to user B4. So that means we if this is a company's customer care center, at any cost we have to take a customer's call. So you are trying multiple options that you have, and each option failed for the first three iterations, and fourth iteration it has been successful, ringing accepted, and the call is established, RTP traffic is created. So we can create lot of situations in SIP. All these are different situations. What kind of number is there? What do you mean by number? That number is just for example, they have kept that number 200 and 180. I've already told you, right? Those are the response codes. Why are you asking about 200 and 180 now? 180 is ringing, 200 is okay message. It is the session response. You forgot those numbers already after discussing these many things. All these are codes. 305 is a failure basically, or a redirection. Once you sent an invite to proxy or Bob is telling that, hey man, use the proxy. And the acknowledgement, you have to go through the proxy. Proxy authenticates you and it tells you that you are not allowed to call this particular person. So in a company, there can be call management, incoming call screening. For example, you got to find out CEO's number, CEO of your company's number, and you decided to call him and trash him that I'm not getting good salary. But this call should not go through, because if like that, if every day some 10 to 15 employees call the CEO, CEO's time is gone with talking to uh, your employees itself. So they should not do this kind of a thing. So what do they do? If you send the invite to Bob directly, bypassing the proxy with a number, if Bob's device is configured in such a way that it is replying back telling you, don't come to me directly, you have to use the proxy path, and it is acknowledged. When you forward the invite method to proxy asked you to authenticate yourself. After authenticating, it allowed you to send the invite with authentication information. Then it is told you that screening failure, you don't have permission to call to this particular person. He is above your pay grade. You can only call some HR people, some your team members, your manager or your manager's manager, but you don't have permission to call a CEO or a CFO or big company heads in the company. You are not allowed to do that because there is no such permission given. It is failed. So, um, and invite can go to maybe a announcement server, and that game may play announcement explaining that situation. You are not allowed to call the CEO. If you need anything, send a mail to so and so, senior management team or something like that. So there can be announcement played and by okay, and it is terminated. So idea here is not about the messages. We can read the messages and understand. 407, we know the code is proxy authentication. 403 is reporting that is screening failure. That means you are not permitted to call that guy, etc., etc. So each code is telling you different things. But the idea is what kind of services we can implement in SIP by using your SIP procedures. You can have outgoing call screening also. So invite proxy authentication needed. You have sent an invite with the proxy authorization details, but when Ally sent the invite method with that, proxy is coming back to you and telling you that screening failure. You don't have permission to make international calls. For example, if you have made a call to an outside network, proxy can tell you that you can only make the calls internally to our company. You are not permitted, or you are For your job grade, you cannot make the calls to STDs or ISDs or to the outside SIP networks. So it is a failure. It can report. So proxy knows the details here. So proxy is configured with a lot of details about which users can make what kind of calls, which users can call, which users cannot call, which users. Like this, lot of information can be stored in your SIP proxy. So your SIP environment is a very complex environment. It is a big database in the company maintaining a lot of things. Just imagine by removing this thing with the normal landline phones, if you got to know your CEO's number, you can call and tell that please increase my salary by 5,000 from next month, otherwise I will resign. Your CEO asks you, hey, who the hell are you? I don't know you. Out of 15,000 employees, you are one employee. Why I have to take care about you? And I don't know anything about your performance or something like that. Why I have to talk to you related to this? So you must not be allowed. But in case of a normal telephones, there is no such option called as rejecting a call on the basis of who is calling you. That configuration is like very difficult in a normal telephone environment, and SIP supports that with the help of the information that is stored in your proxy in the form of restrictions and etc etc. So with the help of that, you can do a lot of things here. Call parking. What is call parking means? Call is acknowledged and it is OTP traffic is okay. Now, Bob has placed this call into parking server and telling that, hey, I don't know who is going to pick up this call, but I am placing it on the parking server for anybody to pick it up. For example, um, if Carol subscribe for Carol decided to pick the call, Carol will be able to see that the parked call on the parking server, and you can pick it up by subscribing it. So notify, and in the notify you will send that call details, and your Carol will be replacing the parking server here, and call will be established between Alice and Carol. So this parking server comes into the play like this. For example, you are making a call to somebody. That guy has told that, hey, I think I cannot answer this. One of my colleagues can answer. I'm keeping you on hold for some time. Just hold on. So you will put that call on the hold and put them into parking server. Now, after it is placed onto parking server, all your colleagues who can answer that call, they will be subscribing to parking server to get to see what are the calls that are parked right now. If there is a call available and if there is a person who is free, if he can take the call, it will send a subscribe method to find out are there any parked calls. He says that yes, there are parked calls. I'm notifying that information to you. You can take this call. So then Karol guy is going and telling allies that I'm taking this call, and the call is getting established, and so on and so forth. So we can do these kind of operations also, like from multiple guys, any one guy can pick up the call by subscribing to the notifications from parking server. If the calls are parked, most of the times your customer care centers will be working like this. All the calls are parked onto a parking server, and they will be going on a queue. They will keep telling you that you are fifth in queue, you are sixth in queue. Like one call is being taken by one customer care executive. Finally, your time comes, your call will be picked by somebody who has become free. Whoever becomes free, pick up your call. It doesn't mean that particular person need to pick it up. Nothing like that. You are just parked on it. You are parked on the parking server. So you can implement these SIP parking servers, which are very vital for most of the organization's operations. So this is how that particular operations will take place. Call pickup. Alice is calling Bob. Bob's phone is ringing, but Bob is not there at that place. But Bill, who is the secretary of Bob, observed that Bob's phone is ringing, but Bob is not there. And Bill have sent a subscribe method to Bob. Hey, let me know, and with a notification who is calling, and that call related dialog parameter, send me that. So in the form of a notify, Bob is sending the call details that are present in the invite method. In the notify, it sends it to Bob. Bob, by taking those parameters, it is sending a invite method to Alice. Hey, let me introduce, my name is Bill. I am going to replace the Bob guy because Bob guy is not there. I wanted to talk to you about it. When this guy accepts it, this request will be cancelled, and the call will be established between Alice and Bill, and Bill will have a two-way RTP communication, and it will explain that my boss to whom you have called is not available. He will be available day after tomorrow. If you want to say anything important, you can tell it to me. So there will be communication happens for some time and by. So you can pick up the other person's calls also in here. Automatic redial. You have invited this Bob guy is busy and acknowledgement. And Alice has subscribed for sent a subscribe to Bob, telling the Bob's phone that whenever this guy becomes free from the busy, please let me know. And that guy accepts it first. After that, after sometimes Bob becomes available, he's busy, is gone. Whatever the ongoing call that is finished, and Bob's phone automatically in the background sends a notification to Alice that Bob has now been available, and it is acknowledged, and now invite method is automatically resent, and the session is established. So the idea here is you can even subscribe for any kind of operations on the other phone, like when the phone is not busy, please let me know. So you don't want to waste time by keep on trying manually again and again and again and again for 20 times because you desperately want to speak to that guy, but that guy is on a continuously on the other call, he is not picking your call, but you wanted to know whenever that guy cuts the ongoing call, so you can subscribe it. You don't need to like continuously try multiple times till he picks it up. In case of your mobile phone calls or landline phone calls, this is impossible. The other component will never let you know that this guy is now this guy is not active now, or his call is being terminated. It doesn't, you will not know. But in here you can subscribe for those events. So, and if it is notified to you, you will be sending invite automatically after the user becomes available. Click to dial. Bob's PC is connected to Bob's SIP phone. And Bob's PC, on the Bob's PC, Bob is looking into a website. Bob is looking into a website, and Bob found out that there is a phone number that he wanted to call. He found out on the website. So Bob's PC is configured to send the information to Bob's phone automatically when he click on mouse on that phone number, instead of making the Bob type the number on his SIP phone. So SIP phone is separate. It is not in. There is no SIP software installed on Bob's PC. Um, but Bob is got a separate phone. He would like to talk on that phone, SIP phone, but he don't want to dial that number manually. So you can configure some SIP information inside Bob's PC. Whenever we click on the Bob's PC's link, like a phone number or whatever, a refer method will go to Bob explaining the Bob's phone that, hey, this Bob guy wanted to make a call to Carol. Can you make it? He accepts it, and it starts generating the invite method towards the Carol. Call will be picked up, and the phone starts ringing, and once the call is picked up, the light will turn green or whatever. Then you can pick up the dialer and start speaking to Carol. That means you are placing the call from the PC itself without even using your phone's hardware. SIP's network is not connected through LTE network. If SIP's network is connected to LTE network, that is what is called as IMS calls, which we will study in our coming up classes. SIP is a IP network on its own. You can build a SIP network on any IP technology network. That means all the worldwide IP network that is present, you can implement your SIP technology by having SIP phones and SIP proxies, etc. It works on IP world. All these are IP calls.